Hi, welcome to This or That, a show where we take two similar blasters and pit them against each other to figure out which one's better. Today, we've got the Fury X and the Aeon Pro. Now, I know these are not exactly new blasters, but I've never had both at the same time. Actually, the APX is actually fairly new to me, and I was curious to see which one performed better and was easier to get to various FPS caps. So how I'm going to critique and grade these blasters is by a number of different ways. We're going to check for prime weight, trigger feel, overall ergonomics, and performance, as well as how easy it is to get to other performance levels. Now, I believe these both shoot about 140 FPS out of the box, but we're going to just check and confirm. We're going to use the same magazine and darts that came with the APX for both tests, for both blasters. And yeah, we'll go from there. First, we're going to test the Fury X. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 darts in it. Perfect. $129.5, 117.4, 120, 125.9, 138.4, 137.7, 120.7, 122.3, 129.5, and 112.1. I'm really not a fan of the ratchet, but I think that can be addressed by like dremeling out that mechanism. Time to collect darts. Right, now for the APX. We will be testing it with the P-car because it came with it. And we might test the Fury X with what too, just because. Okay, already the Prime is much heavier on the APX versus the Fury X. And the trigger is stiffer as well. Like, I can already feel that versus this. $151.5. Wow. 140.3. 149.2. 155.1. 145.6, 148.9, much more consistent. 147.9, 146.6, 148.5, 147.2. And that was it, wasn't it? Yes, that was it. Okay, so the Aeon Pro X clearly hits harder by, what was it, 20 FPS? Yeah, the Fury X was hitting an average of 125, 130 area, and the APX was closer to 150, give or take a couple FPS. Generally, I prefer the prime weight of the Fury X, but I also understand why it's lighter. I like the trigger is lighter, but the ratchet I am not a fan of out of the box. The APX hits harder, is quieter, and is smoother. It has a heavier trigger feel, but it's not as spongy. So do with that information as you will. Let's check accuracy.
This is the second two.
Great. So that was very enlightening. The Fury X was significantly worse than the APX. I mean, you saw the scores, and I even missed the target half the time, and I had to end up pushing the numbers up just to get the final shots in so that we could get a score. So it showed 80 points, and it was actually close 60. Whereas with the APX, I ran out of shots on the target and still had to add another 20 after the shots were finished on the target. So that was 110. So, and I strongly believe that the P car, in conjunction with the higher velocity, is the big factor for that. But the Fury X didn't come with any rifling, so we didn't use it. Now, I've got pump kits to convert these to pump action, obviously, because I'm not a big fan of top prime. And I feel that pump kits with stocks will significantly help with the accuracy, because you have more bracing to hold the blaster still when you're aiming, so you're not all kinds of shaky. Now, I did use a red dot in the testing just for accuracy and consistency. I used it for both blasters, so there's no argument on which iron sights are better. I'm not good with iron sights at all, so I use a red dot. So now we're going to get these all kitted out and see what we can do to get them upgraded and probably get them up to 200 FPS as well. Because I have a game coming up next week and the limit is 200. So we'll make these 200. Okay, now that that's done, let's talk about it. The Fury X went together not too bad. It required, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 M3 screws and nuts. But other than that, it's held together with printed pins. It's not too terribly bad. Now, I couldn't put much of an upgrade spring in it. It wouldn't take a K25. I think I have a long shot spring in it now, and a barrel from an MPP and the P car from the Nexus Pro X. And this still doesn't want to quite prime fully. So it can't take any upgrade spring. But I'm still gonna have to work with that as best I can. Oh. Okay, and I can still fit the red dot on there. Okay. Now, as for the Aeon, it went together. I had to take it apart a little bit, not as much as I thought I did. I thought I had to take the whole blaster apart to do it. But no, you have to undo all the screws, but only enough to open the front to get the original muzzle out. Now this will be using the motorized piston pump barrel as well, but I'll be using the matching B car with that because it fits. For some reason I couldn't get the B car to fit in the muzzle of the Fury X kit. But as far as ergonomics go, it's not, the Fury X isn't bad, but you have to watch yourself because you don't want to punch yourself in the face with it. Whereas with the Aeon, actually let me just swap barrels because it's just that easy. Put the O-ring back on there. Now as for the Aeon, it made priming it so much easier. So it was a hard prime for a top prime, but as a pump action, it's a relatively nice carbine. I'm curious to see how much the barrel affects it, and if it makes a huge difference, which we are about to find out. Ooh, there's a bit of a gap there. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but there's a bit of a gap between where the P car should butt up and where it actually stops. So that's going to be interesting to see what that does. Ow. As far as extra pieces goes, that's all that was left for the Fury X. The barrel and the muzzle. Now the barrel is actually a really loose fit on the darts too, which probably didn't help with consistency and performance. Like, I don't think that's a good thing. Whereas with the Aeon barrel, which is tiny, it's a much tighter fit. And all the spare bits that came off of that kit. The priming grip with some extra screws. The side pick rail, which is replaced on the pump kit, and with two extra screws. The muzzle, and some piece that locks underneath the pump grip. Yeah, all in all, aesthetically, I'm liking the APX pump and top rail kit, as well as the feel of it. The Fury X pump kit just kind of looks like it was a printed add-on. I couldn't quite get that to look like it fit, like it was just an extension of the blaster. So yeah, let's get some chronograph readings with I think a long shot spring and the MPP barrel and APX P-car. This one will just be an MPP barrel and B-car. Reason being, much like the Nexus Pro X, the Aeon Pro also, or Aeon Pro X, whatever this one is, also takes the longer skinny springs, not K25s. And I don't think a K25 is compatible with this blaster. Okay, so starting with the Fury X. $174.8. 172.5. 162. 146.6. I might have hit the side. 175.8. 165.6. 166.2. 157.7. 120. I must have hit the side. 159.4. To give us an average of 160 with the two lower hits. I'll go collect some darts and we'll try again. Right. Let's try again. 187.9. 138. 184.9. 169.2. 174.1. 176.4. 163.3. 176.1. 179. 157.7. So not as consistent as before, but it's consistently higher than before. Averaging 170.6. So that is up 10 FPS from the Fury X. But remember, all we did for the Aeon Pro X was the longer barrel and B-car, whereas the Fury X has the same longer barrel and a P-car and a bigger spring, and it works as long as you prime it like you mean it. If you prime it slow, it doesn't want to work. Whereas the Aeon Pro X was fine because there was no upgrade spring. Let's check accuracy. That was 100 points. And three more shots. Is it not going?
Isn't it when it starts doing its music, that means it's turning itself off?
No. It means it's resetting the round. And you have to make it.
I think that was another 2 grays and an orange. So what's that? Another 40 more points. Oh.
Boom! Hey! Bang! Hey. Bang!
30 points.
Michael. Pull your pants, bud.
I can't take that one out. Okay. So that seemed like a pretty decisive winner to me. The Aeon Pro X was by far a more accurate blaster than the Fury X. Now, that being said, it was because the barrel kept falling out of the blaster. So that would have to be addressed. And I can't say for certain how much better that will make it. It will increase it, but I can't say how well. So as much as I was hoping for the Fury X to be better after all this, just because I prefer the underdog for some reason. But after doing this, I think that the Aeon Pro X looks better, has a nicer feel to it, and overall performs better. Hits harder, is more accurate, is just better. That being said, if you can address the barrel fit issue and you prefer something a little more compact, the Fury X is much more compact. Oops. And then you would also have to make sure that you watch your face with this. So final thoughts would be Aeon Pro X is a winner. You don't need the MPP barrel and B-car. You can find other barrels. But for, what is it, $5 to $10 more, I'm picking this and a hardware-free printed kit. If you still want a bullpup for less work, got a long shot. But I think I'm going to be using this for a little bit.